Uncanny Valley written by Aestics. Sharp 40 Samsara. Nothing can bring you peace but yourself. Ralph Waldo Emerson. Open corner bracket Rimuru Tempest. The ground beneath me wasn't ground at all. It was water, thin, crystalline, barely rippling under my feet. It felt like walking across the skin of a mirror. Stretching in every direction was sky, or its reflection. Hard to tell where one ended and the other began. Horizonless and endless, blue above, blue below. Clouds mirrored heaven duplicated endlessly into nowhere. I had no idea where this was, some pocket plane between the soul and the mind, maybe, or a post-evolution fever dream great sage forgot to warn me about. Or just a really weird dream my evolved brain decided to throw at me. Either way, it was peaceful. Quiet. For once, I could just exist. And then, Rimuru. That familiar, booming voice shattered the silence like thunder. I spun around just in time to see a streak of light crash down from the sky like a falling star. It hit the water a few meters away with an almost graceful splash, sending ripples across the mirror surface. When the light faded, there he was, a man. Well, a jacked himbo. Arms spread wide, face split into that huge grin I knew so well, radiating pure chaotic and uncontainable energy, Veldora. But not the dragon version I was used to. This was his human form, the first I'd seen it too, and damn if he wasn't showing off. He looked like what I might become if I decided to hit the gym for about 10 years straight. Taller than me, with golden bronze skin that seemed to glow, muscles that looked like they belonged in a sculpture, and platinum gold hair that caught the light perfectly. Shirtless, of course, barely wearing pants, sandals on his feet like he was heading to the beach. The bastard looked like a walking advertisement for protein powder. Daddy, I said, keeping my voice completely flat. He blinked, clearly caught off guard. I couldn't hold it back anymore and burst out laughing. I'm kidding, you should see your face right now. You little brat. Veldora barked, though he was trying not to laugh himself. You actually scared me for a second there. Please, I said, still chuckling. If I ever start calling anyone Daddy, seriously, just throw me into the sun. Deal, he said with a grin. We stepped toward each other and did that awkward warrior handshake hug thing people do with their homies that probably looked ridiculous but felt right. For a moment, something tight in my chest loosened. I'd missed this. Missed him. If I could still cry, I probably would have. No homo, though. It's been a while, I said quietly. His eyes lit up. 2 years, 6 months, and 12 days. Not that I was counting or anything. There he was, being Tsunere again. You're such an attachment case. Shut up. We stood there for a moment, just taking each other in. The silence wasn't awkward, but rather it felt full and complete. So, Veldora said eventually, stepping back to get a better look at me, you got taller. Pack yeah, I did. I did a little spin, letting my navy coat flutter dramatically behind me. Pretty majestic, right? Finally hit that growth spurt. He crossed his arms and nodded with mock seriousness. It's true. You were always kind of pretty, but now you're like, pretty and intimidating and hot. Good combination. About time someone noticed, I said, flipping my hair. People kept staring, but I didn't want to assume. We both cracked up. When the laughter died down, his expression got more serious. You've changed, he said simply. I didn't try to deny it. Yeah, I had to. He nodded slowly. I can see that, but it's not a bad thing, you know. I looked down at the water, at my reflection staring back with those golden eyes. Calm but sharp. Different from how I used to look. It wasn't easy, I admitted. There were a lot of things I had to do. A lot of people died. I died, too, technically, at one point, again. Veldora stayed quiet, just listening. I didn't like who I was becoming at first. After that, I continued. I started thinking less and hitting harder. Using force when I used to find other ways. I looked up at the endless sky. But it got me here. And I think, that has to count for something. Tell me it does and I'm not just insane. His hand landed on my shoulder, warm and steady. It counts for everything. Another comfortable pause. Then his grin came back. Oh, and congratulations on becoming an Archon, by the way. Oh, what now? He looked genuinely amused. You haven't figured it out yet. Man, I love being the one to break news to you. Basically, you're not technically a slime anymore. Wait, what? I stared at him. Are you serious? He held up his hands. Relax, relax. You can still turn into one. But biologically, Magically, you've moved beyond that classification. But my entire thing is being a slime. That's literally my brand. He chuckled. You outgrew your species, Rimuru. Slimes don't evolve in the natural order despite being monsters. They're considered a terminal form. They just, or what they are. He tapped my chest. But you forced it and redefined what you are. You made your own evolution happen through pure willpower. So I basically glitched biology. Exactly. You brute forced your way to transcendence. Okay, but what's an Archon supposed to be? Supposed to be a being that wasn't meant to become anything more, but did anyway. Something that defines itself instead of being defined by what it is. It's like being undefined and completely defined at the same time. I blinked a few times, processing that. Huh, that's actually pretty cool. Yup, he winked. Welcome to the Weirdo Club. Gee, thanks, Daddy. I told you to stop with that. We laughed even more, laughter that came with years of shared nonsense. Then his tone changed again, getting more serious. Also, I noticed you awakened 3 ultimate skills. I mean, damn, Rimuru. I'm actually proud of you. I tried to play it off casually like I totally knew what he was talking about. Oh yeah, that. Thanks, I guess. 3. He looked at me like I'd told him I accidentally bench-pressed a mountain. Do you have any idea how absurd that is? Most can't even comprehend 1, and you just picked up 3. I shrugged, feeling a bit embarrassed now. It just kind of happened. I was really motivated at the time. It just happened, he says. Veldora threw his hands up. What in the world went on with your progress? You're ridiculous. You're an absolute overachiever. Takes one to know one, I shot back. Well, true enough. His expression softened. But seriously, I'm proud of you. Really proud. Thanks, I said quietly. A moment passed. Then he casually ran a hand through his hair like he was posing for a magazine cover. Oh, and I awakened mine too. I perked up. Really? What's it about? He smirked. Not telling you yet. Come on. Nope. You'll have to wait and see. You're the worst. I know. The mood settled into something more thoughtful. I watched him stare up at the sky, and something in his expression made me pay attention. You know, he said eventually, you've always been ambitious. You're an extravagant guy, I know. But lately, you're getting greedier. Wow, rude. It's not an insult, bro, he said quickly. Hear me out. Let me explain. I waited. Being strong, he began, his voice dropping to this ridiculously serious tone. I couldn't help it. I snorted. Ha 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 ha. He paused mid-sentence. What? Sorry, I said, trying to keep a straight face. Continue with your, whatever it is. His eye twitched. Hey, I'm being serious here. I know. That's what makes it funny. I gestured at him, this golden bronze himbo in barely their pants trying to sound like an ancient sage. Could anyone even imagine how hilarious he looked? You literally crashed down here like a meteor not long ago yelling my name like a housewife, and now you're trying to give me life advice with that voice. What's wrong with my voice? I cleared my throat and dropped my voice to match his serious tone. Being strong means carrying the weight of existence upon one's shoulders, I said in the most pompous way possible. I don't sound like that. You absolutely do. You sound like you're about to tell me the secret of the universe while flexing your abs. He looked down at his abs. Well, they are pretty impressive. Wait, no. Stop distracting me. Oh, I'm distracting you. You're the one who showed up looking like a fitness influencer's fever dream. These muscles are earned through. Through what? Flexing in your imaginary space prison. His mouth opened and closed like a fish. I'll have you know I was very active in there. I had a whole routine. A routine. I was grinning now. What kind of routine? Well, there was the morning stretch, then some shadow boxing, then, why am I explaining this to you? Because it's hilarious. Please, continue. Did you have like, an imaginary gym membership? He threw his hands up. You know what? Forget it. You clearly can't handle serious Veldora. There's a serious Veldora. I gasped in mock surprise. Where? I only see himbo Veldora in a swimsuit. Swimsuit. The sandals really cooked, though. What brand are those? He looked down at his sandals, then back at me, indignant. These are not vacation sandals. These are, dignified footwear. For the beach, maybe. What does a bitch have to do with anything? Beach, Veldora, not bitch. Beach. We stared at each other for a moment. Then I lost it completely, doubling over with laughter. The sound echoed across the endless water. You're bullying me, he said, tears in his eyes, but he was fighting back a smile now. Well, you started posing as soon as you crash-landed earlier, so. I wasn't posing. Arms out, chest puffed, that little hair flip. There was no hair flip. Veldora, your hair is still doing a hair flip. Like, right now. He reflexively reached up to touch his hair, which was indeed still perfectly windswept despite the complete lack of wind. Shut up, he muttered. Oh man, I said, wiping away imaginary tears. This is the best reunion ever. He sighed dramatically. Fine, fine, but I'm still giving you the serious talk, even if you are a complete brat about it. Okay, I said, trying to compose myself. I'm ready for serious, Veldora. Lay it on me, oh wise and muscular dragon sage. I'm going to ignore that. The muscles are the sage part. All of it. I held up my hands in surrender, still grinning. Alright, I'm listening, really. Go ahead with your, what was it? Being strong, speech. He glared at me suspiciously, then straightened up and put on his serious face again. As I was saying, he continued, and I could see him actively trying not to let his voice get too dramatic. Being strong means being feared and respected by everyone around you. But it also means being alone most of the time. People stop seeing you as a person, they only see what you can do for them or to them. That hit close to home. I didn't say anything. The only way to carry that kind of power without losing yourself, he continued, is to stop apologizing for your choices. We make decisions based on our own rules, not theirs. Because at the end of the day, nobody else is going to truly understand what we carry. I looked at him carefully. He was talking about true dragons, but it applied to me too now, I guess. Is that what you do? I asked. Just ignore how heavy it all gets. He met my eyes. No, I carry it all without asking for anyone's sympathy. I nodded slowly. Sounds lonely. It is. But that doesn't make it wrong. Because what we do, what you do, isn't for validation. It's because we can. Then that grin came back. But, hey, you've got me, so you're already ahead of the game. Despite everything, I smiled. Yeah, I guess I am. He reached over and flicked my forehead lightly. You'll be fine, Rimuru. You're too stubborn and too much of a bastard to lose yourself. I swatted his hand away. Hey, you mean, magnificently determined. He threw his head back and laughed, that full-body laugh that made everything feel lighter. We stood there in comfortable silence for a while, surrounded by endless sky and water. Eventually, I sighed. This isn't going to last, is it? No, Veldora said simply. It's just a window. A space between spaces. I figured. But we'll see each other again soon. He ruffled my hair like an annoying big brother. When you get back to where you belong, and it won't be long, I'm sure. I closed my eyes. I know. The world around us started to blur at the edges. The perfect reflections in the water began to ripple and distort. Our time here was running out. Hey, I said before everything faded completely. Yeah, I'll be seeing you. His smile was warm and real. Yeah, be seeing you. And then he was gone. The water beneath my feet started breaking apart like shattered glass. The mirror surface cracked and dissolved. The dream was ending, the sanctuary between time and space fading back into nothing. I stood there alone, watching the sky melt into white light. But for the first time in a very long time, I didn't feel heavy. Not burdened by everything I'd done and everything I still had to do. Not lost in the space between who I was and who I was becoming. Not empty from all the pieces of myself I'd sacrificed along the way. I felt centered. I took a deep breath, or the dream equivalent of one, and let all the tension flow out of my shoulders. My hands curled into fists, but not from anger or frustration, but from conviction. It was time to go back. Time to finish what I'd started. Time to find my way home. I'd been wandering for so long, chasing power and answers and revenge, and somewhere along all that, I lost my way. But now I had direction again. I looked down at my reflection one last time, at the strange, beautiful, somewhat terrifying thing I'd become. You really are something else, I murmured to myself. Then I almost laughed. What a dumbass. Because I'd been acting like I was completely alone this whole time. Like nobody understood what I was going through. Like I was carrying everything by myself. But that wasn't true. I'd never been alone. There was always the sage, my constant companion, the voice in my head that never left. There was always Veldora, loud, chaotic, brilliant Veldora, my sworn brother who'd been with me every step of the way, even when he was trapped in me. Just remembering that changed something fundamental inside me. Like a key turning in a lock. Like a weight I didn't even know I was carrying suddenly lifting off my shoulders. I wasn't alone. I'd never been alone. And that meant I didn't have to be afraid anymore. Because they were with me. They always had been. Alright, I said quietly as the dream world continued to crumble around me, stars and static bleeding through the cracks. Let's do this. The water beneath my feet finally shattered completely. The sky above opened like a doorway. And I stepped forward, back into the real world. But I wasn't falling anymore. Now, I was flying and I was free. I thought I was alone because no one walked beside me. But I was just too far ahead to notice who had been following me all along. Rimuru Tempest.